Hi, I'm John Olhoff, President of Lulzbot 3D Printers, and we're here at MRRF 2021.
The Taz Sidekick is the latest 3D printer offering from Lulzbot, and in fact, it's the first 3D printer they offer since being acquired by Fame 3D back in November of 2019. The Sidekick is offered in two models, the 289 and the 747. Both come with auto bed leveling as a default option, and honestly, the only difference between these two base models is the build volume. In fact, I talked to John Olhoff, CEO of Lulzbot, while I was visiting MRRF.
We have a new printer, and it is being American made for sub $1,000 to let you 3D print.
It was great to finally meet John in person. And when we started the booth tour, we talked about the Taz Workhorse, the Taz Pro, and of course the Mini. But I know you're not interested in that. You want to see more about the Sidekick.
So a few of the things you're going to notice is it does carry the Taz Badge. The reason for that is we're still using a double gantry frame design. It's a little bit unique because all of the aluminum extrusions are actually tilted at a 45, giving it a very striking appearance. Still structurally sound as far as the direction it needs to hold weight in. The overall parts are made out of PETG, but as far as an actual OEM production machine goes, I believe that we have the most 3D printed machine ever manufactured from a company, which is very exciting. We think a lot of our users will enjoy that. They'll be able to make everything they need with it.
The look of the Sidekick is a bit familiar with that double gantry we all associate with Lulzbot 3D printers, but with all extrusions twisted 45 degrees, nothing interlocks at 90-degree angles anymore, and it's really striking to see in person. One new feature I thought was cool in the Sidekick was belts on the Z. It's a belted Z. When the motors aren't energized though, because it's on belts, you need a way to keep it in place. Sometimes people implement a Z-brake, but Lulzbot did something really curious and really cool. They used magnets.
So we've passed over the Z-brake board, and we've also passed over the holding torque from like a gearbox Z-stepper and gone instead for something that's entirely new. And that's actually a set of neodymium magnets that hold it for your tool head change position, your filament change position, and at the end of every print. And it's working very, very well for us, so something new.
Most 3D printer designs aren't born overnight. We know that. So when I was there, I talked to John and I asked him the timeline on the Sidekick 3D printer.
So about November of 2019, we started talking about what directions to go in first. We knew that the consumer market would be very interested in the first product to come out from Lulzbot, and we could go two directions. It's either we go a little bit more premium, or we try to make something that's a better fit for the market today. What does that look like? Well, the addition of 175 filament, easy, and also price point. We live in a world where printers are becoming more and more affordable, and we wanted to be in tune to that and still be able to provide that full factory warranty with your ability to pick your tool head, your ability to configure it however you want, just like if you were to order a Dell computer or something like that.
I really like the idea of the configurator, being able to customize a 3D printer purchase with the parts and features that you want on your machine from an OEM. I think there's value in that. John was taking me through the process of using the configurator for the Sidekick at MRRF, but now that it's live, I can take you through it myself. First, you pick your model. There's the 289 and the 747. The 289 build volume is 6 inches on X, 6 3/8 inch on Y, and 7 1/8 inch on Z or Z, and the base price is $795 US. The 747 build volume is 9 inches on X, 9 inches on Y, and 9 3/4 inches on Z or Z, and the 747 base price is $995 US. Next, you get to pick the color of the printed parts, and you've got two choices. You've got Stealth Black, or you've got Lulzbot Green. The Sidekick utilizes the universal tool head mounting system, which means that if you already have a Lulzbot 3D printer and you have one or more tool heads for it, the Sidekick will use that tool head. This means that when buying the Sidekick, you don't have to buy one with a tool head. However, you can, and there are a lot of tool head options available. Honestly, this is very similar to how the camera world operates. You have lenses that work with a camera body, and if you want to buy another camera body, it's usually best to buy one that has the same mount as the other one, since you already have lenses to use. So just imagine this is a Taz Pro, Taz Workhorse, Taz Mini. Imagine the R5 is a Sidekick, and these are the tool heads that are offered. Lulzbot now, I believe, has 9 different tool heads that you can choose from. From there, it is the build plate choice, and by default, the machine will come with PEI on glass. However, you do have the option of switching it out to a magnetic flex plate system. By default, the machine is headless because they think people might want to use it in a farm system or tether it to something like Octoprint. You do have that ability, but if you want an LCD, all you have to do is add it right here, and it's an LCD with a little click wheel. Finally, you can also add a filament sensor to the machine. It's an interesting offering from Lulzbot, and I asked John what the goals for the company were with the Sidekick.
One of the things we want to do is engage people that have never 3D printed before. Our hope is that 50% of the customers for the Sidekick have never owned a 3D printer. Those that do, those that have taken other 3D printer brands and then spent $500 adding BL touches and direct drive extruders and stuff, those people will get to enjoy the fact that this machine starts with all those things they would have put in a printer anyways. But those who have never 3D printed can start with automatic bed leveling, can start with a direct drive extruder, can start with something that they can get going printing without having to spend a lot of time tweaking on the printer. And if they're having troubles, that's what our full-time customer support is for. Email in, call in, we're going to help you, we're going to get your parts, whatever you need, as well as the factory warranty. Our goal is to get people printing. Price point helps with that.
I really appreciate John's enthusiasm and the work he and his team have done at Lulzbot to bring this 3D printer to market. Being able to customize the machine during order is good for those that may not want all the features offered or already have tool heads they can use. Lulzbot is keeping it open source and posting all of the source files to their GitLab page. The Sidekick is a lower cost offering from Lulzbot, but I don't quite know how the market will react. For people who are buying their first machine, the $289 package plus a tool head is $990 US. Adding the LCD controller, the flexible build plate, and the filament sensor brings the total to $1,165 US. It's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but it's within the realm of the market that they're now trying to reach. A fully assembled Prusa i3 Mark III's 3D printer from Prusa in the Czech Republic is $999 US plus shipping. The Pulse from Matter Hackers, with a screen and magnetic flex plate for the printer, is $904 US. I know these machines aren't an exact comparison, but they're close enough, and these are the machines that the Lulzbot Sidekick will be competing with. It's really neat to see another player in this demographic, and I look forward to seeing this machine in the wild. What do you think about this, though? Is the Sidekick a welcome addition to the Lulzbot 3D printer catalog? Do you think the price is fair? Do you like the ability to pick and choose the options at time of purchase? Or has Lulzbot completely missed the mark? I would very much like to hear your comments, pro or against, in the comments below. Well, my trip to MRRF was really a lot of fun, and getting to talk to John face to face was great. We've been in some emails before, but just, you know, getting that FaceTime and being able to see this new product in person really resonated with me, and I really hope it resonated with you, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Hopefully we'll see more of it at the next MRRF, maybe. You know, if you made this far, you're awesome. Don't forget to hug each other more. See you online, and as always, high five.